Let's go, y'all. We're talking about building wealth while being black. Building wealth while being black. I think this is going to appeal to somebody. I'm not sure who, but I hope it reaches you and you get the understanding of what we're talking about. And we're talking about a mindset um, that we can have and build wealth while being black without being held back. And I want to break this down into some simple stuff that you'll understand, some simple stuff that you can take heed of and go forward. And so let's into this. This is what's happening. Boom. There's some stuff that gets in the way of us building wealth. There's some stuff that gets in the way of us building wealth, and it starts here. Racism. Racism is getting in the way of us building wealth. How? Racism does it because it's systemic. It's built into the process. You're not already there. And it's not structured to your advantage. And so that's where racism and discrimination come into play. So that means you're put off, that means you're put out, that means you're held back because of things that cannot allow you to participate in the system on equal ground. A lot of people talk about equity and things of this nature, inequity, and part of it is the system, but part of it is our own doing. Willie Lynch did a thing for slave masters long ago on how to control folks basically through manipulation. And with this Willie Lynch syndrome, a lot of us have adopted much of the mindset of dealing with that. Let's take, for instance, on the streets. When you're dealing with people on the streets, and sometimes older folks have a problem with younger folks, same color, different generation, they got a problem with them doing basically the same stuff that they were doing when they were younger. We've got to get out of that and get away from that. And also the negativity that comes along with that. There's negativity that comes along with that when we bring that into the circle, when we bring that into the village, when we bring that into the cipher, when we bring that to where we all are sharing, and the negativity then becomes part of what is burning against us, right? And it's working against us because we're looking at each other like we're crazy. And the problem really boils down to how do we participate successfully? And I've shared it on here many times in different aspects on Black success and Black wealth. And it has existed in the past and it has existed in the present. But we want to depend on other resources to give us images of ourselves being successful. And that's not going to happen. You're not going to get that from ABC. You're not going to get that from Disney Channel. You're not going to get that from Netflix. Black success, Black excellence, all of that is not going to come about from what you view on your common TV or streaming shows. And heck, let's even say it, BET may not even show it to you. But what you can do is do the following, which I believe makes a difference. And this is where we start. Remember, this is just about where we start, not where we end up, not where we finish off, but this is just about where we get things started and not where we leave things off. Listen to this. We need to go ahead and start searching. Start searching out, researching, and identifying Black wealth and how to build Black wealth, how to build your own wealth. Uh, Money, change your money mindset, change your idea about money, change your relationship with money. Don't always think about it from paycheck to paycheck. Think about how to break down your paycheck. We'll get into that later on, but I want to start here and do it to where we can go ahead and get to that point where we can search, find ideas, find investment opportunities, um, countless stuff. And there's some things that I have to say that are legit that It took me being down and almost out to just finally say, you know what, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to research this and get a little further into this and see what's really behind investing. And when I got into it and found that investing, we had a notion that you needed a whole bunch of money to invest. And the truth is, you don't need a whole lot of money to invest. And now we're seeing that even manifest today with your Robinhoods and Webull and accounts that take almost nothing and you can get fractional shares. And here we are today. Study what you discover. Study what you discover. Observe. Look at the market. Look at how the market performs. Look at how the market has performed in the past. Look at what leads to downtrends and corrections in the market. Look at how money operates. Study how money operates and how money moves. Interest rates, income, dividends, capital gains. How do those things fit into your overall money picture? And do they fit into your financial plan? And structure. Structure means organize your money and your money mindset to where you can see how to build a future, not just for yourself, but a living legacy for those who live beyond you, right? You want to build it, you want to earn it, you want to save it, you want it to grow, right? Make it, manage it, multiply it. That's what you want to do. Make it, manage it, and multiply it. So that means your skills, side hustle, plus your salary. All that needs to go into play. All that needs to come into play when you're talking about money. And then finally, what I say you need to do, you need to scale up, right? You need to scale up. You need to build up from there. You need to build up from there and take it a notch further and go higher with what you, all those things that get in the way, they get in the way once it happens and they get in the way, they tend to hold us off and hold us off from becoming what we can be. But what we can be is certain that once we put a plan together, we can grow this thing. I want to talk about incremental steps you need to take. And then I'm going to rush off and move on to something else and get you on another video at another time. But incremental steps that you can take, cut down your credit, your usage of credit, cut down your usage of credit, increase your available credit. Don't cut off and end all your accounts. Keep your accounts open, pay them off, pay them down, get your available credit up, get your credit score up. And I'm not saying that so that you can borrow, but when you're looking for interest rates on money to borrow, to build, and use for buying real estate or anything of that nature, they're going to look at it. And they're going to look at it, are you credit worthy? If you're going to do a business and your business requires an extensive amount of credit before you begin to go further, they're going to look to see if you're credit worthy. Get your credit in order. Get your cash flow in order. Get to where you can have a steady cash flow from your side hustle, from your skill set, whatever it is that you're doing, your salary, get all that set up to where you can live on 70% and then eventually 50%, right? If you can live on 50% of what you make, you're winning the game. If you can live on 70% of what you make, you're ahead of 80% of the other people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck. That's where you need to be. 70% or 50%. That's where you need to be as far as living off your salary. And finally, savings are your setup. Savings are your setup. That's your base. That's your ground level. And so spend some time setting up your savings to where it's automatic. It's going on cycles. I don't care if you're doing money market, CD, high yield savings, a regular savings account, credit union, right? These banks aren't paying anything. Find a credit union that'll pay you, even if it's just something regional or in your industry or whatever. But find a credit union that'll pay you, and you'll see the difference as you collect dividends on savings, money market, even checking, CDs, whatever it is. Let that be your base. And as you set your base up from there, boom, build up from there and get into your investments. Your investments are for long-term growth and some income. And in many cases, what you need to look at savings is short-term as far as interest, but investments long-term as far as dividends and capital gains. That's what you need to look for. Dividends and capital gains in your growth of your overall investments. You can do index funds, you can do dividend ETFs, dividend stocks, right? I'm a dividend investor. That's what I do. But in order to make this happen, it all says the same thing. You got to change your money mindset. You got to change your money mindset. And when you change your money mindset, you'll do so. And in doing so, you'll combat the things that fight against you being successful, building wealth. And as we work towards it, being black won't make a difference in your ability to be wealthy. In fact, it may make it better and strengthen. You know, you know how to show up. You know what to do, and you know how to handle it because of what you've already experienced in your past life and what you want your children to experience that you didn't have in your early life, what you want your grandchildren to experience. And so, with that, God be with you. God bless. We're going to talk about this some more as we get into some further stuff on Wealth on Wednesdays. God be with you. God bless. Peace.